Hello, my name is Opal Singleton. I am the president and CEO of Million Kids. This is a Million Kids Insider Alert. If you want to share these with others, tell them to go to millionkids.org, sign up for Insider Alerts, and be sure and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Now, this is the case analysis of the Sacramento shooting that took place this week on near Capitol Hill in Sacramento, and the arrest of an individual named Smiley Martin. The assistant district attorney had previously issued dire warnings about the early release of Mr. Smiley Martin. And just 2 days before, here is his booking photo, 2 days before he was released from the Sacramento County Probation and the area prison. While he is on parole and recently released from prison, the actions of his actions and others that he was engaged in at 2 o'clock in the morning, it's now looking like it's gang related. It resulted in the deaths of 6 people and the injury of 12 more people. He was arrested on Tuesday morning at a hospital there in Sacramento on charges of being a felon in possession of a firearm and possession of a stolen handgun that was converted to a fully automatic weapon. Police said that he was injured in that gun battle that broke out, and now they believe that it is the result of gang activity. So what happened is on Sunday, a fight broke out at 2 in the morning at a bar in a large crowd area at 2 in the morning with a lot of people. We now believe it's gang related, and as it developed in there, the officers, they couldn't give you all the details, but they could see that it is definitely gang related. The fight broke out, and what happened is that the bar patrons filled the streets. More than 100 rounds of ammunition were fired as people ran for their lives and dove for cover, according to the video. In the video, Mr. Way, just hours before the shooting. His brother, Dondre Martin, has also been arrested on charges of assault with a deadly weapon and possession of a firearm by a felon. Brother also a felon in this case. Martin took the videos of the fight to post on Facebook. So think about this. Smiley Martin, just 6 weeks before, was incarcerated in a California prison on what you will soon learn was a 10-year sentence regarding assault on a individual, as it later turned out to be a prostitute. Martin had a long history of committing felonies. According to the CD Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, the Board of Parole Hearings had previously denied him the early release under nonviolent parole review in May of 2021. But now he was released later in February 2022 under our Proposition 57 that allows you to get out early by earning credits. So California Proposition 57 allows prisoners to be considered for early parole, early release based on credit earning opportunities. This all started back in 2016 when literally what happened is that the public voted for the early release of prisoners that were committing nonviolent crimes. What the public didn't understand is that there are very few crimes that are considered violent and serious and are subject to the 3 strikes law in California. And what has resulted since 2016 is that we are looking at potentially, I'm not going to say all of them, but potentially 76,000 prisoners to get out early. As many as 20,000 of them could be convicted of sexual assaults and still be considered for early release. So why was he in prison in the first place? Well, in 2016, Martin forcibly entered his girlfriend's residence. He located her hiding in her bedroom closet. Kind of gives you a hint right there. He hit her repeatedly with a closed fist on her face, her head, and her body, causing visible injuries. He then dragged her out of the house by her hair to an awaiting car. When he put her in the car, he began to beat her with a belt. Later, the police investigation determined that she had been working as a prostitute and that Martin had been assisting and encouraging her to be a prostitute. Kind of smacks of a pimp, I'm not sure there. Anyway, according to text messages, he was not charged with pimping or pandering. Martin pled guilty to 2 felony assault charges for a 10-year sentence, a prison sentence. Well, this conviction took place in 2018, so the rest of us are going to think he doesn't get out to 2028. It's a 10-year sentence he's put in there for domestic violence and assault. But as it turns out, he only served a little more than 4 years. The district attorney, Anne-Marie Schubert, opposed this, vigorously opposed this, as I understand and researched the case. She said that he must not be freed because he's a career criminal and he is a danger to the community. She went on to say that Martin has his entire adult life displayed a pattern of criminal behavior. This is Deputy District Attorney Daniel Abelgard. While the current case is on review, may not be violent under the Penal Code, his criminal conduct is violent and lengthy. I want to come back to that because what this deputy district attorney is saying is we understand the original 10-year sentence is not considered violent and serious, but his conduct is. He had committed several felony violations and clearly had no regard for human life and the law. He showed that he had prior felony convictions of robbery, possession of a firearm, prior misdemeanor convictions for providing false information. So it's an interesting thing to me that this took place this week, right there, about 6 blocks from Capitol Hill in Sacramento, because this week in Sacramento, on Tuesday, I believe it was, or Wednesday, I'm not sure, the legislation for SB 1065 was presented that would have made human trafficking to be classified under the California Penal Code as a violent and serious crime. I believe that cases like this can be avoided in the future if we can begin to look at sexual assault and human trafficking to be classified as violent and serious crimes. However, it was SB 1042 that was presented, and it was denied in the Public Safety Committee. The bill would have made human trafficking considered to be a violent and serious crime and would have allowed for a 3-strike law so that people like Smiley Martin would not be getting out early. And in that case, maybe that could have avoided the deaths of 6 people. The prosecutor said that he had a long history with illegal guns. Way back in 2013, keep in mind the arrest that he was sentenced for happened in 2016. But prior to that, even after his 18th birthday, he was contacted by law enforcement. He attempted to discard an assault rifle concealed in his waistband. The rifle had a pistol grip and the capacity to accept a detachable magazine in front of the pistol grip. He also was found to be in possession of 2 fully loaded 25-round magazines for the assault weapon. Now, that's 3 years before he committed the assault and violence on the young lady that he was that was classified as his girlfriend and later determined to be in commercial sex. The prosecutor noted that he had assault weapons, large capacity magazines. He received some jail time, then he would get out of that. And then right after that, he and 3 other suspects entered a Walmart store asking a clerk to see a Samsung Galaxy notebook. And at that time, they grabbed them and fled, taking merchandise from Walmart to be an estimate of around $2,800. It's during this time that witnesses identified him through surveillance photos as those subsequent robberies. He pled guilty to the robbery. He got 2 years in state prison. 6 months later is when he went in to do the sexual assault on his girlfriend's resident. So this is one of those cases where we really need human trafficking to be considered a violent and serious crime. Under the California Penal Code, human trafficking crimes are not considered violent and serious, and this needs to change. I want to just share with you that the prosecutor had already warned that board that Martin is a salty, non-compliant individual, absolutely no regard for his victims, who left in the wake of many, many different offenses. He had no respect for the law or others, and if released, he will continue to break the law. Regardless of all that, he was released. So why is he released early, regardless of a history of violence? In the interview, what happened? He had a 10-year sentence. The Department of Corrections said that he had already received 508 days of pre-sentencing credits and a variety of additional post-sentencing credits, therefore was let go early this year. So what happened? He was sentenced to 10 years and he got out in less than 5. This district attorney, assistant district attorney, I believe, Schubert, said that she is among a group of district attorneys, she is a district attorney, who sued the state over its emergency regulations that led to the reduction in the state prison population. She has repeatedly warned that early releases would result in prisoners facing 10-year sentences being freed in 3 years and 4 months. I think this is an important case. I know it's a longer insider alert, but I want you to understand the importance of making these sex crimes violent and serious. And we have to support legislation and make it known we want this to happen. It is very possible if this man had not got out early, that perhaps some of these people would not have either ended in death or ended in injury. If you know of anybody who is a victim of human trafficking or online exploitation, this is how you report it. My name is Opal Singleton. This is A Million Kids Insider Alert. To learn more, follow us at millionkids.org. If you want to donate and support our work, we appreciate it. And you can always email me at opal@millionkids.org. We'll see you next time on Insider Alerts.